This is a phenomenal signing. I'm gutted. I feel bitter. And it hurts. I wanted Antoine Semenyo at my club, Manchester United. I'm not going to pretend suddenly he's overrated. I am not going to start calling him all mannerisms of names and pejoratives and playing it down. I have no belief that Pep is going to ruin him and take his creativity and his freedom away. Does that mean he's going to be 100% a hit? No. We have all seen Jack Grealish go to Man City, do well and win trophies, but never really be the main star. I thought Semenyo would do a much better job than he is currently doing. Omar Mamouche, I thought, would get more game time. But it doesn't mean that I'm going to suddenly pretend that any good signing might be a flop. And I'm not going to do a U-turn on my thoughts on Antoine Semenyo. He is a fantastic player. Before we go any further, please, people, like, share, and subscribe. Hit the hype button as well. I'm gutted. And I want to say, first of all, congratulations to Manchester City. I'm not surprised you picked Man United to him. I'm not surprised you've beaten Chelsea and Liverpool to his signature too. And look, I don't buy into the PR from any club. All of us got rejected. Maybe Liverpool pulled out earlier because they didn't get the encouragement. Man United have said that, you know, we made a good offer. The player considered it. We wouldn't break our wage structure, though. So maybe there was a train of thought that if we added an extra 80, 100,000, as we've done before, to sign the likes of Alexis Sanchez, maybe we could have got the deal done. But ultimately, our offer was rejected. Spurs got rejected. Chelsea, the same. And this is a coup. This is what I believe to be a fantastic piece of business for Manchester City. Formalities are now being discussed and finalised. And the formalities are the details between clubs. Although there's a buyout clause, it is believed that Benfica, Bournemouth are very much open to a payment structure and a kind of installment system, which, although City are a very wealthy club, a very rich club, huge turnover, they would still rather, if they can, at times pay in installments because it keeps more cash in the business. I know that's all very, very boring, but it's an important component when it comes to understanding how football finance really works. You have to remember that football clubs don't use the Sun newspapers, the Daily Mail, Sky Sports, Talk Sports, basic net spend to actually assess their transfer expenditure. It never has been used that way. It certainly isn't used in a sophisticated, wealthy club like Manchester City. Yes, you calculate the money spent on players and the money sold for players. But I'll give you an example. If you buy a player for 100 million, it will only show around about a £20 million expense each year. Yeah, if you sell a player for 100 million, that £100 million shows on your account straight away. So the actual net spend isn't zero. If you're going to use a seasonal net spend, you're actually £80 million up in that period of time, but then it changes over the course of time. You've also got to factor in salaries. You know, Manchester City currently spending around 57% of their annual turnover on salaries, putting it up somewhere in the region of 477 million. You've got agent fees on top. But all of that being said, there's nothing wrong with spending money when you have it. I'm someone that I don't fall into that trap of calling Pep a checkbook manager. The pressure that comes with spending large money on players, the pressure that comes with investing millions in youth players, putting billions of pounds over the length of contracts into a squad as good as Man City's, the pressure that comes with that, for me, I think fans get it wrong when they try and play it down and they look for a bit of net spend here, or this team spent a bit more there and my manager still won. For me, I think handling the pressure of spending that money and coming out on top, that is the W, that is the win. That is what separates the men from the boys. That is a detail when it comes to nitpicking between the greatest that I think goes in favour of the Peps, of the Jose Mourinho's, of the Sir Alex Ferguson. They spent big, they invested, but they delivered. Semenyo adds to that. What I will say, and some people will take this as a negative, I just see this as a positive. City must. City now must win the league. And I don't mean that in the sense of if they don't, Pep should be sacked. Again, that's just for crap content like on the overlap. That's just a soundbite bit of bollocks. Someone says, they clip it up, everyone goes, oh, there we go. It's not about that. When I say they must, I mean the expectation now on City is to win the league. I always felt they'd be in the title race. I didn't think they could win the league this year. But what Man City have done is get better and better. Haaland is performing on another planet. Cherki has been a revelation of a signing. And Donnarumma has made them a much, much harder team to beat. They are 2 points off the top. They have the greatest manager of a generation. They have a team full of serial winners. And in the last 12 calendar months, Manchester City have spent £456 million on players. And fair play to them. They've got that money because they've won tournaments. They've earned that money and it's theirs. And they've invested it wisely. But to put it into context, that's 48% of what Mikel Arteta has spent in 6 years. When I factor all that in, the expectation has to be to go on from here and win the league. Now, I want to preface this because I can already see the comments being typed out. I can see them. And if you've seen someone write this before they've listened, just reply to their comment and timestamp it 6 minutes and 30 seconds. That doesn't mean Arsenal shouldn't have the pressure of winning the league. It doesn't mean Liverpool shouldn't be ridiculed for being champions, investing £500 million and failing. This doesn't relieve any pressure from Arsenal. All three of those teams, I think Liverpool have fallen off and they're not going to win it now, are in that position of you must win the league. And what I mean by that is, if you don't win the league, it's a failure. Arsenal, Liverpool and City seasons, if they don't win the Prem, it's a failure. Point blank. And I wish I was in your position. I wish where not winning the league is the only thing that would be deemed as failure. Making top four, failure. Getting into Europe, failure. Maybe even just winning a domestic trophy alone is failure. I wish my team was that good. I don't say it with jealousy. I say it with envy. But I'm a very fortunate person that I can envy something and not hate on it. City have a very good squad. They're adding an amazing player in Semenyo. Fair play to them. Fair play to Pep and the team for getting it over the line. The great thing for me as a spectator of this sport that I love is I think we have an even better title race. There is a new dynamic being added to this. But the expectations for me have grown again. Grown again when it comes now to Manchester City. They have to be expected to win the league. But you can have more than one team that's expected to win the league. The difference being is this, though. I want to specify this so everybody understands. The ramifications of Arsenal and Arteta not winning the league in terms of his job is different to Pep and City not winning it. Pep shouldn't be sacked for not winning the league, in my personal opinion. Much more credit in the bank. Therefore, you get more leeway. But that is a different debate and conversation. We're looking at two very good teams, neck and neck in the Premier League, with one of the greatest managers of all time, season winners, and the better part of £500 million spent in a calendar year on improving that squad. The expectations to win must be there, in my opinion. But look, well done, City. Fantastic piece of business. Jealous as hell that you got him over here. Give me your views, give me your opinions in that comment section below. Take care, goodbye, God bless, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.